Mic check, mic check. What's up, people? It's your boy Level here back with another Live at Level Gamers podcast. This is episode 151. Why no cross play? Sony. But we won't get into that just yet. I got the full cast minus two. And one to be jumping in here soon. So we'll be minus only Jedi Knight. We got to get on Sunday at some point to get them back in. But if you're in the comment section, sign off. Let me know who you are. Make sure you put your name down there in the comments. Let us know how you're feeling, what you're thinking. But I'm going to let these dudes introduce themselves, starting with Mr. Optimus Prime. What's up, bro?
What's going on? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Also, Captain America. He didn't die in Wakanda with the rest of them. What's up, man?
Yo, what's up, people? I'm back. Had to skip off to a different country. I might go back, especially if Trump gets to tripping like he is. But other than that, I'm here now, ready to get this conversation popping.
The power of the Black Panther will now be stripped away. But anyway, yeah, man. While we wait on Keith, K-Bum, go ahead and kind of give us a thought on a little bit you got to check out while you was over there, mending and tending to the wounds of Drake. How was things going and what you see with E3?
I thought you were talking about Toronto.
Yeah, when you was over there, you was over there, tending to his knees, man. This boy got thrashed.
They still love him though. I mean, everywhere I went, he was on like every clothing store or grocery store or fast food place, Tim Hortons. If you know anything about that, you heard Drake on the speakers. I'm like, man, hey, and even all the little light skinned dudes, they trying to talk like Drake. I'm like, man, y'all love some Drake up in the city. I feel you. But I guess some of my takeaways from E3, starting with Microsoft, I didn't get a chance to see any of the press conferences as they were shown live because I was too busy enjoying the city. But I did see that Microsoft did show some things. One of the big surprises for me was that they got Team Ninja. That's right.
Ninja Theory.
Ninja Theory. Don't fall. Team Ninja. Yeah, it's Ninja Gaiden people. Ninja Theory, which they stole it from the grasp of Sony, which is very impressive.
Also, Sony was going for them.
No, they made games for the PS4.
They were with Sony. They were like a second party studio almost.
Mm-hmm. Heavenly Rain. They did Heavy Rain. Not Heavenly Sword. They did Heavenly Sword. They did the little indie game with the girl that was kind of going crazy.
See, that's what I was associating them with that game. I forgot all about Heavenly Sword.
Yeah, they did Heavenly Sword, which I liked it. I mean, I know people wasn't digging it, but I like Heavenly Sword. That's me.
Heavenly Sword was a good game.
Yeah. So they stole them. So I'm hey man, more power to them. I like that studio, man. They take chances. I like them. So that was big. Them coming out with some heavy hitters, showing some games. They didn't really show too much for this year, but they are setting themselves up for the next couple of years, which I thought was pretty cool. And a lot of the census was, they did a great job showing games, which I agree. Next, I did watch EA. I was actually
sorry to hear
that. The powers of the Black Panther would now be stripped away. Yeah, because they lost all their power doing that. Anyway, go ahead, K-Ball.
So I watched EA, and we were getting ready to board the plane that day, and so I'm kind of driving, trying to watch it, and I'm sitting here like, because I like EA. I don't have the animosity a lot of other people have with EA. I still think they're a terrible company, but I like the games they produce, and I'm just watching. And I'm like, this is it. Even what they showed of Madden, I'm like, this is it. I'm like, of Live, this is it. And Battlefield 5, I'm like, really? And did you just really put Star Wars back on the stage? Did you? Battlefront 2? Why do we care? So Yeah, I was very disappointed. Even the videos on Anthem I saw wasn't that impressive. So I didn't like it at all. I thought the entire thing was garbage. Um, then I didn't see Sony because I was out and about, but I watched. Uh, I've been hearing that it was a good thing I didn't actually watch the press conference. I ended up just watching the highlights of the games and the showing of the games. And their first parties, man, those first party games from Sony exclusives are no joke. Um, Spider Man looks A+. The Last of Us 2 looks absolutely groundbreaking. And I kind of said something why I thought it was groundbreaking because of, you actually see her taking arrows out of people, like physically, like she took it out of herself. You know what I'm saying? You don't really see that. You see, do a little animation and the arrow disappear usually, but you actually see her pulling the arrow out and you see her react to being injured. So I thought that was really cool. I'm trying to sum it up because I'm kind of going too long. I thought that was amazing. I'm still questionable about the zombie game. I don't know if I like it. I don't think I do.
Which one you talking about? Death Stranding?
No. Oh no, no one knows what that is. I'm not talking about that. We can't even call that a zombie game. I don't know if that's a zombie game. It's a game with ghosts, spirits, babies, throat babies. No one knows what that is.
I don't know what it is either.
I'm not even talking. That's not even a conversation.
Prometheus 2, I guess. I don't know.
That still ain't gameplay. That ain't real gameplay. I don't know what's going on. But I'm talking about Days Gone. That one. I don't know if I like it, man. I don't.
Did they show that? I must have missed that part.
I must have saw it at a different time then, because I actually watched gameplay of it, and I didn't. I wasn't impressed. Not at all. And then the last game we said Death Stranding. There was one more Sony showed. I'm trying to think about it so I can wrap it up. Oh yeah, the samurai game. I'm still
Ghost of
pretty interested in
Tsushima.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. I'm still interested in that, man. So I hope they do it well. I do like the company they have working behind it, and so I'm pretty excited about that. And then I didn't watch much of Nintendo. I did watch.
The Smash Direct.
The Smash Direct. Yeah. So I looked at the game that was shown. I looked at the games that was shown, and I was like, I don't see myself playing any of these except for Smash.
That's all they showed, basically. Was
they snuck in a couple other games, but
everything else you could have been unplayed already, except for that first game. But
yeah,
pretty much everything you saw, you had access to before then. So basically, you saw what this game they showed was the game you talking about, Smash.
Okay. And I mean that looks good, man. I love they're bringing all 60 characters, something like that. They're bringing all of them back. The Twitter was blowing up off of the little booty snake. I don't know what was up with that. The time we had a little booty in this one. I don't know what it was, but Twitter blew up about it. That was weird. People were petitioning, demanding that he gets his round booty back. I don't know why, but whatever. It's Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I saw it. Like I saw that more than anything else, bro. I'm just saying. Yeah, but I wasn't really too much interested in any other games they showed except for Smash. I'll probably definitely be getting that. Probably not buying it because Nintendo wants their game to be $59, but I'll be game flying it.
Okay. All right, Keith is in the house now. Black Panther has showed up. Mufasa is in the building. Anyway, before we get off into these topics, and now that K-Bum kind of gave a quick synopsis of what he saw for E3 last week, and of course he ended with Nintendo and the fact that he didn't enjoy nothing he saw, but Smash. We let him pass on that.
No, I said I only watched Smash. I didn't say I watched the other ones.
I'm joking, but you know how we normally start. Well, let me hit this for a second. Y'all know about this rapper, Xation. How you say his name? Anybody know how to say his name?
I don't.
Hey, I would have said that was right.
Yeah, me too.
Xation or something like that. I know we're a gaming podcast, but for 5 minutes, can I say something, man?
Go for it.
What is it that makes it so appealing to pick up a phone and record a person's murder and not think, hey, maybe I should put the phone down and go help?
Man,
Now, I didn't watch the any other footage of what was captured, but what I was hearing from multiple reports is, and I don't even know this boy. I've heard some of the stuff about him being kind of having my ear to the streets a little bit with the hip hop, and some of the stuff he was doing. He wasn't, he had a lot of controversy surrounding him and stuff he was doing, but he was only 20 years old, and no one should lose their life like he lost it. But the fact that they said it was multiple people just picking up their camera, turn on their phone camera and recording this situation, only one person helped. What does that say about our society, man? You was going to say something, Keith? I know that's yeah.
I was gonna say this. That's just the social media society that we're in. It's like, not just that. There was some teens that watched this dude drown one time. Like, man, look at dude, he drowning. Like, y'all see, it's like 4 or 5 of them on their phones watching this dude drown. So that's just, man, it's sad that we live in a society like that, man. That we quick to pick up our phone and say we captured it instead of helping people. But that's just the social media site.
That's sickening, man. I mean, I was sitting there like reading and reading about what took place and people talking about the cameras, the pictures and the videos of his lifeless body, and one nurse kind of wrote an article. Was like, if one of y'all would have just put y'all phone down and went, checked this post, called the police earlier, got the ambulance there early, you probably could have saved that boy life. But the need to pick up your camera and capture it so that you can have whatever 15 minutes of fame or somebody checking out your video was more important than a life. It's like we don't even value life, bro. It's crazy.
So you're saying likes was more important than life?
Yeah, likes were more LIKE was more important than LIFE at that time. Go ahead, D2.
No, just it pretty much.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's what we could sit here and talk about this all day long because this could really spill out to a much bigger issue about why something like that would even take place.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I ended there. I just, I had to say something, man. We talk about these games, but we grown men.
I agree with you, bro. Like when I heard it, I was disgusted the same way, man. That people would and D2K is right because we can go deep into it and talk about the devaluing of human life that's been going on just in general. Look at this talking about our government and how they're devaluing life, children. Yeah. It's not just one finger to point, man. It goes across the board. So I might jump down that rabbit hole, man, but it goes deeper.
Right. So with that being said, we'll move on. Pray for that Broy family, man.
Yeah.
And that's just sad. I know he wasn't the most popular, upstanding citizen, but still, that is a human being. That's a life. So I can go farther than that, but then I get to make y'all uncomfortable with some of my terms I might use, but I'll leave it alone.
Well, before we get into game talk, maybe we can just throw this out there right quick.
Yeah.
What did you think about the Creed 2 trailer?
D2, why you do this to us, man? The power of the Black Panther has now been man. At first, I didn't know who he was fighting, and I was because it was some Rocky said or Sylvester Stallone said to him. He's like, he said, "This is the same thing your dad said."
Yeah. Right.
And I was like, okay, why would he say that? What's going on here? Like, he playing somebody that can kill him in the ring. Like, oh, they gonna go back to Ivan Drago. And when I saw who it was and that on the back of his jacket, I was like, oh man, that last scene where he punched Creed in the face. Yeah, I'm ready, dude. I'm so ready for this movie.
Can we officially say that Ryan Coogler is the king of creating trailers? Can we say that the way he intertwines music to his trailers?
Well, I don't really. Well, yes and no, because he's the executive producer of this movie. He's not directing it.
I was gonna ask.
Oh, he's not
I thought he was doing the
directing. I
next
thought he
Black
was
Panther.
directing this one.
No, his friend is directing this one. They couldn't get him. He couldn't. He was still wrapping up post production with Black Panther when they were ready to start shooting this. So he recommended his friend to get some shine on him to let him direct the movie.
Bruh, I mean,
he's going to be doing. He's the executive producer of this movie.
The way they tied in that track, that Kendrick track with the man.
Yeah.
He stepped in. I think Ryan stepped in towards the ending of the film shooting. He helped out towards the end, but like D2K said, most of it was another person. So, but yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for Creed. I'm ready for Creed, bro.
A thing that's kind of interesting is that I don't know if Rocky gonna make it because I mean I don't know because when you saw like the post or the pre-fight, conference whatever they have, and they show like a split second of that. You saw Victor Drago, that's the name of the boy, and you saw his daddy behind him, and you saw Adonis on one side. You didn't see Rocky anywhere. And then when you see him walk into the ring, you don't see Rocky with him anywhere.
He had cancer in the first one, right?
Yeah,
he did. You're right.
What do you think it's time for? Well,
I don't know if something happened to Rocky or if Rocky said, I'm not going to have anything to do with this because of what happened with your father. Because at some point, they're going to have a confrontation about that with him and his Apollo's ex-wife, played by Felicia Rashad. They're going to have to come to a head with that. Because in the trailer, he was saying, like, look, your daddy said the same thing, and he sat here and he died in my arms.
Right. I think what we saw was while Rocky wasn't there, I think that was the first fight. I think he fought him and lost. And gonna fight and try to fight him again. That's what I took it as, Robert Rocky said the same thing your dad said, and I think he fought him anyway. And I think that's when Felicia Rashad said, "Don't make this about your father." It's probably the second go around. But I don't know. That's me. But you're right. I did notice that Rocky wasn't in his corner, and he had all these. And I was like, maybe Rocky didn't want to do it. But also, it could be that maybe they trying to. I don't see them killing Rocky off this early. But do you think it can stand without Rocky now?
No.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that'll be a good move.
You don't have enough people left. There's no legacy left. That's all you have left. Everybody else is dead, literally.
Yeah.
So that's what you can't do that. No.
Okay.
Really follow pilot.
You just got to prepare people for the transition.
No, you can still do it. The dude. Oh no, the dude that plays Apollo, he's still alive, right?
Carl Weathers, he's dead.
He's dead.
Carl Weathers is alive, but Apollo.
No. What I'm saying was you can do some Mufasa type stuff.
What I'm hearing that there's supposed to be some like Carl Weathers is in this movie from like flashbacks and stuff. There's like new footage of him being in here, so I don't know what that's going to be, but there's going to be there's supposed to be like flashbacks. Somehow they're going to make it seem like they're Apollo and Rocky are younger, but it's them now, filming it. And it's gonna be flashbacks of what they did, back in the day or whatever. Probably conversations that day. Maybe it'll be when he tells Rocky about the fact that he had this affair. Because Rocky knew, but he didn't say nothing.
Okay, that's interesting. It's crazy you said that, D2. I almost went upstairs the other day after I saw the commercial or the trailer and watched the first Creed. That trailer made me want to watch the first Creed. But anyway, let's move on past it. But that was a good topic. So let's get into what you've been gaming on. And I guess K-Bon, you ain't been gaming on anything if you was in Canada. Did you take your Switch?
No, I didn't take the Switch.
You didn't take the Switch on the trip that you're supposed to take the Switch?
No, I was with I had my goddaughter and my niece. I didn't have time to play the Switch.
Okay, you could have played with your niece with the dog. Anyway, so I'll start with D2K. What you been gaming on, man?
Not a whole lot. I was actually in Walmart earlier today, and I passed by to the Switch kiosk. So I said, let me check out this Mario Kart 8 because I haven't really played it on the Switch before. Played the Wii U version when they were the Switch version. And I only played it once, so it's been such a long time that I don't really remember how I felt to play it. And I'm playing it, and I'm like, there's something wrong here. It felt, for some reason, it felt sluggish to me in comparison to like Mario Kart on the Wii. It felt like my car was slowing down in areas where it shouldn't slow down, and it seemed like they changed how the power slide works. Because before you had to like really drift to get it going, and then do it 2 or 3 times and it turn blue and you get that supercharge. Now you can just lean from one side to the other and it gives you that, and then you can turbo boost off of it. And that was kind of weird to get used to that. I almost won. I think I came in 3rd place. Now it was like one little mistake I made, and that kept me from being able to catch the person in the lead. But I don't know. It just felt like it looks great, but it didn't feel right. It felt slow. Maybe it was, I don't know. It just felt weird.
What CC was you racing in?
It could have been a low CC. It could have been like 50 or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Because it was the kiosk, so I don't even remember if they even gave me an option to choose a higher one.
Okay. No, because it felt like Mario Kart.
But, it felt like Mario Kart in terms of mechanics and all. I just felt like I wanted to do things, but I couldn't. It was like, it felt like I was in quicksand almost.
I can kind of see what you're saying. It is a little bit more weightier, but I guess because it felt like, that's how Mario Kart was on the Wii U. I ain't gonna be honest. I wasn't a big fan of Mario Kart on the Wii as much.
Me neither.
I didn't like Mario Kart on the Wii for some reason. I don't know what it was about that particular Mario Kart. And I know a lot of people love Mario Kart on the. I like the Mario Kart on the 64. I didn't like Mario Kart. No, I like Double Dash.
I can't stand Double Dash.
I didn't like. I definitely didn't like Wii as much as I played it a lot, but I didn't like it as much. And I want to say 64. It was some aspects about 64 I didn't like, but it was something about it. I want to say 64, but of course Super NES Mario Kart was great. I liked Double Dash. I don't know why a lot of people didn't. I did.
I didn't like that fisheye perspective that it gave you. It just gives me a headache.
I got you. I understand that, but I like Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, and I like this current one. But I would say if anything is different, it's a little bit more. It ain't as forgiving as other Mario Karts. It makes you really hit the turns, really control who you playing, and depending on who you got, it really the settings really make you feel like you got a heavy person or a small person. But for the most part, it seemed like the other ones. But
well, I mean, I don't think there's as much rubber banding in this one as there are in previous. Like Mario Kart for the Wii, if somebody hits you with a turtle shell, it's over. You're going all the way to the back, and then you're gonna get the bullet and get back in the first place, or you get the golden mushroom or something. It's like it's like a yo-yo, and that it gets annoying after a while. It's like, can I just race normal? Man, why do everybody have to shoot stuff at me?
Yeah,
leave me alone.
I think it's unfair that they give all the people in the back all the best items. I feel like if you losing, you losing. Hey, don't be sitting up and giving you bullets and blue shells and now they got on this current one on 8 they got you get a one of each item. You know what I'm talking about, Keith? I don't even know what that particular one is, but it's like a crazy 8. You get
crazy 8,
yeah. You get all of them. You get the electricity. You get the lightning bolt. You get everything. And it's like, dude, get that to the people in the front that might need it to get past number 1. And I'm in second. Don't get that to the dude that's way back in the back, and then out of nowhere he get to the front because he hit the strike and everybody got bombarded at the front. Yeah, I don't like that about it, but
like he can pull it out. He's in like 8th place, 9th place, and then he gets a bullet or a turtle shell or something, and then he can swing and win the whole thing.
Yeah, like one time, bro, I made it. I was like maybe a few feet away from the finish line in first place, been leading all 3 laps. And out of nowhere, blue shell, red shell. I got hit with somebody had a star man hit me. I went from first to 7th place just like that. And I'm sitting there like, that's some bull crap right there. But
it make you want to fight. It make you want to like, hold on, let's square up.
It do, man. Especially when you put in all that hard work and you had the horn the whole time, and then when you finally used your horn, cause you think, oh, I'm good. I'm only in a few feet from the finish line. That's when the blue shell comes. And I heard it coming. I was like, I just had a horn, and it waits. And especially if you're playing against the computer, they do it all the time, man. So anyway, what else you been gaming on?
That's pretty much it. I mean, I haven't really been gaming on that much. Like I've been doing other things. So.
Okay. Keith, what you been on, bro?
Woof. I have been still on Assassin's Creed. It's still a struggle, but I'm playing it. I have played Hollow Knight on PC. Still playing that. I'm still pretty much playing all the same games. Slain. I think it's Slain on the Switch. But there is a new game that I've been playing. I just bought it. I'm pretty sure you guys would like to hear about it. The Octopath expansion.
That's out.
It is out. It is.
How is that?
It is the single player that you wanted in the original Splatoon. Well, Splatoon 2. It is. It has I think it said it had like 80 challenges or whatever. But it's definitely a lot more difficult. It doesn't pull its punches. It ain't gonna be nice to you like the regular Splatoon single player. It can be really challenging, and I've only played a few of the stages, and I already put the controller down. Like I'm not even in the mood for this. I'm not in the mood to be mad right now. So, but yeah, I plan on getting to that a little bit later. What else I've been playing? I think that's it. I think there's another game on the Switch that I was playing besides that. Is it Fee? Faye? I think it's Fee or whatever, the EA game. I played a little bit. I bought it. It was on sale for like $9.99, so I bought that too. And it feels pretty good. I haven't really got far in it. Very nice art style. It's like a 3D version of what's the game of Ori.
Okay.
Other than that, that's all I've been playing.
Okay. Well, as for me, I've been playing.
You gonna skip me, bro?
You said you didn't play anything.
No, I said I didn't play. I didn't play the Switch. I've been back for like a week, bro.
Oh, go ahead, K-Bo. My bad.
Hey, my man don't be like, nah, bro. You ain't played nothing, bro. You don't got no conversations.
I forgot you. I'm thinking you just got back from Toronto.
No, I got back Saturday, man.
Okay. All right, man. Forget it, bro. Don't hold me. Wakanda forever.
Well, because we I wanted to say because I had some big news.
Okay, what's good? You got the Xbox One. You got the X.
Nah, man. I finished God of War.
Oh, you finally finished it?
I finished God of War. Yes, sir.
Did you get the secret ending?
I don't think I got the secret ending. I don't know what it is.
I don't want to talk about it.
So I can tell you what I saw on my ending.
All right, go ahead. What was your ending?
So in my ending, we made it to the land of the giants. And we saw the writing on the little prophecy stuff.
Yeah.
And then we went out there and did the thing for our mom, and then we would come back and we were talking, and then we headed back toward heading back towards the little thing, the travel gate.
Right.
And that's it. I don't know what I was supposed to get.
Go home. You ain't. If you want the real ending,
Go home.
Go home.
And
that will trigger.
Okay.
And when you see it,
I'll do that tonight.
Or you can go to YouTube and it's down there.
No, I'll do that tonight.
Okay, but because what I want to talk about, you got to see that part. So, because everything you talk about. Now, let me ask you something, and this might be spoiler cast. So, if you don't want to hear it, cover your ears, bro. And sign off in the comment section, man. We got 12 viewers. Sign off in the comment section. Let me know who up in here. Tony up in here. Who else up in here? Anyway, what did you think about the hieroglyphs and the prophecy with Kratos and what's the son's name again? I can't think of it right
Atreus.
now. Atreus. What did you think about the last one you saw? What did you think you saw?
I couldn't pin out what it was. I'm like, is that an elephant? I couldn't.
Bro, I don't know if I should say on air or not. I want to say, man, I think I'm gonna go out on a limb and say what I think I saw depicted there was what's his son's name again?
Atreus.
Atreus holding a dead Kratos.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't really see it,
dude. That's what I went back. I played the scene over again, and then I went to YouTube and watched it there just to see. And bro, I promise you, man, I think he was holding a dead Kratos. Now,
wow.
I hope not, but that's what it looked like, man. But if you want to see what we could talk about. What's up, folks? I see. Man, they jumping in this mug.
I think we just got carpet bombed.
Yeah, that's what I think so.
How we get carpet bombed by who?
Yeah, all these people keep saying the same thing.
Okay.
It says Player Essence sent us. That's what the comments say. Raid.
Raid.
Yeah, raid. Yeah.
Anyway, Player Essence raid. Okay. Anyway,
that's too easy. I'm not gonna.
That's kind of weird.
Keep going.
But yeah, man, go back to your house, and then that'll trigger what the scene I'm talking. Keith, was you planning on playing God of War 4, man? I feel bad if we just spoiled it.
Hey, man, I'm not gonna remember whatever y'all just said.
Okay, cool. Come back to this.
At some point, I plan on playing it, but I don't really care because it's a different thing from experiencing it than listen to somebody talk about it.
Yeah, you don't talk about any spoilers though. We spoiling whole movies you don't be caring. So.
So what else have you been playing, man? You said you finished God of War. What else?
I finished that. I finally got a chance to play it on this TV, man, and playing it on 4K HDR is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my entire life. So
garbage TV, man.
Anyway, so
trash TV.
All that haterade. So I also been playing. So we went to my niece went to our first pro soccer game, and I kind of got my juices flowing. So I've actually been playing FIFA lately too. So I popped FIFA back in, started playing that. I started playing 2K again. Talked to one of my buddies, and we might give that back a go until the new one comes out, and then still playing Overwatch a little bit. So, did
they show any footage of 2K?
No, 2K never shows at E3. It's too early for it. It shows at the GameCon.
Okay.
The one in Europe somewhere. I forget exactly what part of Europe is at. But GamesCon is where they usually first show 2K.
All right, cool. All right, as for me, before I was rudely interrupted by K-Bum.
Whatever, bro.
I'm joking. No, I haven't played anything. What I've been on, I told you guys last week, I've been doing some renovations and upgrades to my studio. Got my last few items in yesterday to complete my upgrade, and everything is ready to go. I would love to, man. I'm real excited, real amped to start producing again. So that's what I've been on. So I haven't really played any games. My daughter and my younger cousin did play Ninjago. I don't know if y'all know about the Lego Ninjago.
I know about it.
And what else? What else did I have on? Fortnite. I played some Fortnite.
You played some what?
Yeah, I played Fortnite, bro. I got in there and got thrashed because I don't understand. Right. I don't understand Fortnite yet. I don't
either.
I don't get the premise of what I need to do. Half the time I'm trying to find where everybody is at, and then the whole what's that? Is a barrier that's closing in on you. What they call that?
Storm. The storm.
The storm is closing, and half the time I'm just running from being on the outside of the storm. So trying to stay inside the storm. So by the time I get to where all the action is at, we only got like 30, 40 seconds, and I get shot as soon as I get there. So I haven't figured out what I need to do to be relevant in the game. So I'm gonna have to keep playing it. But outside of that, I haven't been playing anything, man. Been trying to get my family out to go see this Incredibles 2. Been hearing good things about that, so I'm trying to get out there to do that. But outside of that, man, that's all I've been on. So anyway, they just made our account go all the way up to 50 and come right on back down. So that's the real number.
So the guy actually was in the comment section. He was actually saying that Player Essence gave us a shout out. And in his podcast, and he said that he really enjoyed our stream, so they hopped over because he gave us a shout out.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. Thanks,
so it sounded like it was out of love. Is what it sounded like.
That's what's up.
Or mutual appreciation.
I appreciate that.
I know what it was either.
Yeah, I know what was going on. I was like, wow, we just went up, boy. Essence, man, give us some more love, bro. Anyway.
For sure.
They do that every week, man. No. Anyway. So let's get into these topics, man, because let's dive into this whole the main topic.
Here we go.
Let's go to the main topic. No, this ain't no shade. It's just trying to understand what's going on.
No, here we go. Let's do it.
Yeah. So, what is the deal? And why isn't Sony playing ball when it comes to cross-play? And should we as gamers should PlayStation owners be upset with the practice that Sony displayed with blocking their accounts from being utilized on other platforms when it comes to Fortnite? Because let's deal with this a little bit. So first of all, Fortnite is a game that's not first party. It's a game owned and made and developed by Epic Games. Epic Games controls and handles all the accounts. Sony doesn't handle none of that stuff. Only thing I think Sony does is when you sign up is under Sony's PSN?
Their agreement, whatever. Probably
it's
their terms and conditions, probably.
Yeah, so outside of that, Sony is not managing this. All Sony doing is you signing up under their network service. So the same with Xbox, and future would be the same with Nintendo. So when the announcement came that Fortnite was on the Switch, Sony immediately blocked all of their users for taking their accounts and transferring it and using it on the Switch as well. Blocked them from doing that, so they would have to create a whole new account on the Switch and start over if they wanted to play on the Switch. They couldn't use all the stuff that they had built up over on Sony platform over on the Switch. Now, was they also doing that to Microsoft, or was that not the case with Microsoft, between Microsoft and Sony?
I only heard it on the Switch.
So this was strictly Switch. So what is the deal? Should we be upset? Should we call foul? I'm gonna go to D2K first. Then I go to K-Bun, then I come to you, Keith, because I got another topic I want to start with you. But go ahead.
Now, is this just that Sony is not doing crossplay with Nintendo, or not doing crossplay with anybody?
They're not doing crossplay with anybody, but with this Fortnite situation, they went so far as to block a third-party game to where they won't allow a third-party game with their own accounts to be used on another system that third-party game is on. So Sony won't. It's one thing to not allow your system to play with other systems, but it's a whole nother thing to then go a step farther and block accounts to keep them from taking that information over to another platform.
Yeah, Tyrese said Sony's doing it for both Microsoft and Nintendo.
Yeah, I wanted to make that point clear before I say what I'm going to say. I don't really know why Sony is doing it. I'm sure that they know, but I have no reason. Well, I have no tangible reason other than this, is that Sony gets attacked almost every single day by hackers trying to destroy their online network. It's a constant thing. It's just every single day people are trying to shut them down. And it's possible that there could be some type of exploit or flaw in their online network that's too expensive for them to fix outright. So instead of coming out and saying, well, we can't do cross-play chat or cross-play between other consoles, because if we do that, then there's a flaw that can be exploited and they can shut down the whole network. They just don't do it. And they say, we'll just take the L and fall on our sword with this, rather than give the hackers a clear path to destroy our network once again. Now, this is just me throwing something against the wall to see if it sticks. I don't know if that's true. It makes sense to me, but I have no idea why. Outside of that, there's no real advantageous reason why you would do this outside of that. That's just my take on it.
Okay. So you're saying that it could be, as simple as trying to protect their network.
Possible. Like I said, I don't know. I'm just because I can't think of any other logical reason why they could do this, because it doesn't benefit them to do this. It puts them, it gives them a bad look in the gaming community to say that you won't play ball, especially with the fact if Nintendo is allowing their console to do cross-play with other consoles and you're not doing it, that's a real bad look for you. So there has to be a really solid reason as to why they're not doing this. And to me, if it was something like that, that would make a whole lot of sense.
Okay.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm ready to hop on this thing running. So I can't buy that at all, because Sony has crossplay with the PC, and if anything, you don't want to get hacked. You don't want to be cross-playing with PCs. Like that would be the first no-no. And Sony is also allowing cross-play with mobiles. The only people they're not cross-playing with are their direct rivals in the home console area, which is Xbox and Nintendo. And so, I mean, I can't vibe with them saying that it's the network. To me, is really based off the fact that it's the home console. So the reason why I say this, I'm going to go back even before this, when the first person on the PS4 to say they can do crossplay, the very first person was the makers of what was the car soccer game? I'm drawing a blank.
You talking about
Rocket
League? Yeah,
Rocket League. Yeah,
Rocket League. They said very long time ago, because Rocket League, when it first came to PlayStation, it was PC and PlayStation gamers played together. The very first one, PlayStation players and PC players all played against each other. And then the makers of Rocket League said, "Hey, they put their game on Xbox like 4 or 5 months later, something like that." And then they said, "You know what? We found out how to communicate between Xbox and PS4, so we can actually do crossplay." And then they said, all we're waiting for, because Xbox gave us the green light, we're only waiting for Sony to give us the green light to do crossplay. And crossplay, and Sony shot it down way back then. And so I'm going to hop on. There was an article, a CEO of Sony came out and said, not CEO, an ex CEO came out and said that the reason why Sony, when he was there, the reason why Sony did not want to do crossplay when he was there was because of money. These are the words from an ex CEO over there in Sony. I'm trying to get his name, so I just don't want to say ex CEO. His name was John Smedley, Smedley. Yeah, and from his point of view, like he's the ex CEO of Sony Online Entertainment. He said that their main reason was when he was there was money. And so, I truly believe that's why Sony, because they're in the league, and so they can make those kind of decisions because they're the top dog, and so that they can do it. And I totally believe that they're that's why they're doing it. And last, before I get off, before I move the point on, me as a Sony fan, the other question was, should Sony fans be upset, or should we care? Or should Sony fans care about this? And my thing is, fans of video games, bump what your console of choice is. Bump that. Since we were kids, we've always wanted to play. Level, you remember back in the day, if someone had a Super Nintendo game or someone had a Sega game, because you was big on Nintendo, you had to go all the way to their house to play his Sonic or to play his Primal Rage, whatever. You had to go all the way to his house to play it because you couldn't play it. Right. You know what I'm saying? We always wish that, despite of what system my cousin, he got a Dreamcast, I knew I was getting a PlayStation 2. But if we could still play together, despite having different consoles, that would have been lit. And so throughout my whole childhood, all I wanted to do was still be able to play with my friends, despite what console they were on. And so that supersedes any brand loyalty, is the fact that they should be able to allow crossplay. And so, yes, every Sony fan should not be defending Sony. We should be fighting to get crossplay, because it does not hurt us as consumers. It doesn't hurt me if Sony allows crossplay. It does nothing but help. So why should I defend Sony with this? No, we should be fighting with others to get Sony to play ball and allow crossplay. So that's my say. I'm done.
Well, it will. That kind of ties into what happened last or week before when E3 happened, because Sony's whole conference had an atmosphere of unabashed arrogance about it. It's just like they felt like we got it all under control. We can go out here and take risks. We can go out there and give you this whack conference because we're Sony. And that's how I felt about it. That's how a lot of people felt about it. And if what you're saying is true, then it makes a lot of sense why they would do things like that. It just, I don't understand how it works that way, because it's not costing you a whole lot of money to do this.
No, they don't have to do anything. That's the thing. Rocket League found out how to do it without tapping into anything for anybody. They would hold everything. So yeah.
Let Keith jump in here, because I'm interested to see what he got to say about it. Cleared his throat and everything.
I am Groot. I don't really know what to say as to why Sony doesn't allow it. I don't get the idea, or especially when it comes to particular or specific games. Going to good night. Good night. I'm sorry, y'all. When it comes to particular games, I mean, like Kayman was just saying, when it comes to like Rocket League, that has nothing to do with Sony. So if Fortnite was like saying, "Hey, we're gonna use our servers and we're controlling it or whatever," then that's cool. As far as the fans go, yeah, I think the fans should be upset, because it's Sony was basically castrating them off from the rest of the industry, and that's not a good look, especially for Sony themselves, because Microsoft is doing some wonderful things. They may not have the exclusives that Sony has, but they're doing some wonderful things, especially with their backwards compatibility, meaning that if I buy a game, it's my game until they stop allowing me to play it on whatever console I get. And those people may jump ship just because, hey, Sony don't want to play ball with everybody. They're trying to be the dark sheep of the industry.
Keep doing that out there so slick.
They may be winning now, but I mean, they got to be smart about it in the future. I mean, this is video gaming is the long game. You can play the short game right now and try to be like, oh, we're Sony, we're winning 77 million units sold, but what's your long game? And if your long game is to abandon the industry, then you might find yourself losing. Let me go get this boy in the bed. I'm sorry.
Let me jump in on that, because what I hear, and I heard this other places, is that this is pretty much anti-consumerism. Like, this is literally controlling what a consumer can do with their product in a way that you don't have to control it. Now, I understand the financial part of it. Sony is trying to keep everybody playing on their system with fellow Sony PlayStation owning gamers. So you can't play with Microsoft, you can't play with Nintendo, play with other PlayStation owners, get in that ecosystem and stay in that ecosystem, stay in that whole thing. But to me, I don't see where this is really generating money for Sony. I don't see where this is going to hurt their money either. Like, it might, like, if I'm on Sony and I know I could jump on this game and play against people on the Microsoft and on the Switch, and I might not been planning on getting that game, but now that I know I can play it across the board, that might, and I still own a PlayStation, that might make me go buy the game on my PlayStation anyway. See what I'm saying? Like, it could help you. It not necessarily gonna hurt you if you open up that door and let folks play with other people. I don't see how that's gonna hurt Sony.
Well, it could help hurt them tremendously, because as these types of games, these battle royale games and stuff, start to become more and more popular, and things of the sort become more popular, people might choose to buy third-party versions of these games not on Sony simply because they don't offer this.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it could backfire and drive people to other platforms rather than opening up the door and saying, hey, if you want to play against Microsoft and Nintendo or vice versa, then you can buy it here and play whoever you want to play anywhere else. Like, to me, that makes more sense than to kind of shoehorn people to only playing with other fellow PlayStation owning people. And two, I guess the second part of this question, now that because Microsoft is guilty of this too, so let's not throw Sony under the bus like they doing something that's foreign when Microsoft was in the lead. From what I heard, they didn't want to do cross-game chat, cross-game play for the exact same reasons. Sony is not doing it, and Sony was for it back then.
Right, that's true.
So now that we have crossed over this line to where Microsoft, Nintendo, PC, and with Sony and PC is happening, can we now cross back? Let's say next generation. Let's say Sony's attitude backfires on them and people run back to Microsoft or Nintendo, and do we close the door on cross play, or will they still continue to do it if they ever got back in the driver's seat?
So, I don't think, to me, it wouldn't be a big issue if they would have kept it just at crossplay. If Sony just would have kept it and say, you know what, we don't do crossplay, I think people would have been okay.
Right. Okay.
But what Sony has done is not just no crossplay. They said this account that you created on a third-party website that you just so happen to use on a PlayStation system is no longer valid anywhere else. That is bullcrap. And to me, that is where the fire is coming from.
Yeah, that's where it's coming from. And you're right. And so that's why I said it's anti-consumer, is because you are literally blocking. Could Epic, let me go out here and let's go on a limb. Can Epic, if they wanted to, sue Sony for what they're doing?
You can sue everybody for anything, so I would say yeah.
But I mean, is it like, because what you said is a legit question, because that's what I was wondering. Can Sony legitimately do this? I know they're doing it, but should they have the power to block a third-party ran system because they don't want their players to play another player?
This is treading very dangerously close to violating antitrust laws. And when you start doing things like that, that's when the government gets involved and you're in big trouble. So if Sony was smart, they would back off of this real quick.
I don't know how that stuff worked, but that's what K-Bum articulated is what Sony did. It wasn't Sony saying no to crossplay. It was the fact that Sony went a step farther and said, you can't even take what you created here with this third-party game that's ran and operated and controlled by a third-party entity. You don't own none of this stuff, but because we own the platform and the service that you made it up under, we going to freeze your account. We're going to lock you out of taking this and transferring it other places. Like, that is on some anti-consumer. That's some real hefty control right there. Like, the reason Microsoft lost this generation is for the very thing that Sony just did. The whole DRM stuff, controlling you like that. Sony just did it. Sony just controlled you, just closed you off and said, nope, I don't care if this is Epic. I don't care if we don't own this game. You ain't taking nothing you created here over there.
Well, remember, Sony was going to do the DRM thing too. They were just smart enough to wait until Microsoft went out and tripped all over themselves, and then came back later on and said, "Oh, we weren't going to do that."
But that's crazy, man. That's what I'm getting at. Like, how could they, like what K-Bum just said, and he articulated it well. How can Sony go so far to literally control a third party's game and the way that they created it to be played because they don't want cross-play? This ain't even cross-play. This is taking my information that I created here on this platform somewhere else.
Remember,
that's crazy.
It may not have been created on a Sony platform. It could have went PC, created on the PC, and then you transferred and played it on the Sony, and then you try to go to Switch.
And they blocking you from Switch, but you can go back to the PC.
I think so.
But now, can you go from the PC to the Switch if that counts?
Yeah. If you didn't if you didn't play it on the PlayStation system.
That's crazy, bro.
Oh, so they
only affect the ones that
blocked.
My bad. Go ahead, Keith. I cut you off. My bad.
I was saying, so as soon as it touched PSN, it blocked it.
They now feel like they have the right to block now because it went through their system at some point.
That's too much control, man.
To me, it's almost like saying that a basketball player can't wear the jersey of the home team that they play with playing a charity game somewhere because that belongs to the franchise they play for. That's how silly it sounds to me. You know,
to me, if I was Epic, and I'll let you jump in here, Keith. If I was Epic, I'd be like, you know what, Sony, since you're gonna act like that, how about we just take our game off your platform?
Yeah, that's not an answer.
I know that's not gonna happen.
You do know in like on the mobile side, I don't know what the PlayStation side, but on the mobile side, I think they said within 20-some days it made $100 million Fortnite did on mobile. So I don't see them taking off at anywhere, Chef, because they're not getting heat for this. So they still gonna make their money regardless. So I don't see them moving anything off.
No, I know they won't. I would say it would be cool to see a entity because Fortnite is powerful. right now, a powerful game in the end, it's like Grand Theft Auto. You got some sway. I believe if Epic put the squeeze on Sony, they can change that. They can get that change. They really, because I think they the reason why we got voice chat on Nintendo. I think. Go ahead, Keith. Go ahead.
I don't think there's anything they can do with the PS4 now. It's like right now they got the money. Go ahead and ride out this PlayStation 4 wave, and when it comes to the next generation, PlayStation 5, they can say, we ain't been to Fortnite to them. And a lot of other companies can be like, you know what, we're not gonna do PUBG, we're not gonna do any of these games on Sony because they don't want to participate in this. What is it? Crossplay. You know what I'm saying? So they can just say, hey, you know what? Right now we'll play nerds, we'll get the money because you have the numbers. But next generation, we're not gonna do it, and we're gonna show you how powerful crossplay can be. And when Microsoft and Nintendo, PC, and maybe even mobile are all playing together, and people are running toward that, then Sony will probably open up, and by then it may be too late.
Okay. Hold up, just a sec.
Yeah, they're gonna have to concede when it comes to the next generation, because it seems like Microsoft is preparing for the future and got all their ducks lined up in a row for the future. They pretty much conceded this generation is okay. We take the L, we lost. We'll see you next year. Or we'll see you in 2020. But if Sony keeps up this stuff, then you can see a lot of third parties bailing out and doing more exclusive stuff with Microsoft, because they already started that dynamic already with the last 2 years at E3, showcasing so many more third-party games and world premieres, exclusives, and things on their stage. So Microsoft is already building up a better rapport with third parties, and Sony just thinks it's too sweet. They're gonna find out how sweet it ain't when the next Xbox comes out.
Not only that, D2K, Keith was hitting on it earlier too in the hangout. Microsoft is setting themselves up to be the platform of interest next generation. They doing the backwards compatibility with what is that called, man? The service that they got,
Game Pass.
Game Pass, and it's like,
and the rumors I've heard is that it seems like that they want to do what Iwata said that they were going to do with the NX, which is having a family of devices all running on the same operating system.
Yeah, they currently doing that as well. You're right.
That's what they're saying the next Xbox is going to be. It's not going to be one console. It's going to be several consoles.
Okay, all right. I ain't looking at it quite like that, but that's interesting. But what I'm saying is you was hitting on nail, and we clearly saw this at their press conference. Microsoft is setting themselves up for the future. They creating relationships. They are mapping out they plan with their fan base and those who might be intrigued about what they're doing down the road. Whereas Sony is caught up in the now with their winning this generation, but you also harming yourself for the future, because if you carry these practices over into the next generation, you're gonna automatically by default make Nintendo or Microsoft a more preferred option, because people gonna want to play crossplay. People gonna want to be able to jump on any system and play against anybody if the game allows it. If I want to play 2K, I don't want to have to go buy 2K for the PlayStation, or I can just buy it for whatever system I have and know that I can still play K-Bump, I can still play Keith, I can still play D2K. I don't have to go now buy a PlayStation to play you. So if Sony take this attitude into next generation, they're going to help Microsoft's narrative. They're going to help Microsoft's message. They're going to play into it, so let me say. So, and the moves that they're making is so for the consumer right now. If Microsoft carries this attitude over to the next generation, which is all I can see them doing, that's gonna be very enticing, bro. If the games is there and the way I want to play is allowed to be played the way they let me play now, being friendly as they are, like with this situation with Minecraft, this commercial with Minecraft that K-Bum put me on to, where is what was the slogan? It said something together.
Survive together.
Survive together. If that's Sony, if that's Microsoft mindset and Nintendo's mindset going forward, we got to talk about Nintendo here in a second, because Reggie put his foot in his mouth on a few things. Reggie put his foot. It was some interesting stuff that Reggie was saying that made me hit the pause button 50 million times. Like, wait a minute, that don't sound like the Reginator I know. That don't sound right. But anyway, if this is the attitude going forward with Microsoft and Nintendo, and the only person that is not playing ball is Sony, they might win this one and stay in the leadership this generation. But that might hurt them next generation, man. Real talk.
It's going to hurt them big time, because if the Switch continues to sell at the same clip that it is now, all the way into 2021, that's going to be an insurmountable lead for either of those systems to catch up. Right. It doesn't matter how good the system are. Systems could be the coldest thing you ever saw. It just if they could be at like 50, 60 by 2021, you're not catching that. You're not.
Right. So I don't know. Sony kind of, like K-Bum said, he said it. What they did it with the PlayStation, from the PlayStation 2 to the PlayStation 3. They got ultra arrogant, and you hit on it, D2K, and I believe it. Sony has gotten into an arrogant place again, and it's like, dude, you living in the now. You ravishing in the lack, the abundance of winning now. But what are you saying for your message for the next generation? You blocking your fan base. You blocking their account from just not playing, but taking their information. You gonna block that? Come on, man. That's on some next level egregious stuff right there. So, but let's get into that. That's enough on that. It is what it is. But let's talk about Reggie. And I don't know if anybody been paying attention. And I'm a Nintendo guy, so I have no problem with putting Reggie and whoever at Nintendo in the hot seat when they deserve to be put in one. First of all, can we just call a spade a spade? Reggie is doing a whole lot of damage controlling after this E3. And Keith, am I wrong for saying that?
Absolutely not. I noticed it too. It's like a lot of Nintendo fans were trying to defend the Direct, and Reggie came out trying to defend the Direct, and I'm like, really, Reggie? So to me, it's like they knew it was bad, and he had to come out and say, well, we have a lot more things coming down the pipeline. Reggie, that has nothing to do with what we just saw.
My thing is this, man, and I say it again. I thought it was a solid Direct, but it was absolutely too much smash. That is not the type of information we are looking for at an E3. And it seemed like that's not an E3 presentation. And it seemed like Nintendo kind of had a brain fart. They're like, bro, why are y'all having an informative Nintendo Direct for Smash at E3 when this game is not coming out until December? So you're going to do this again. You're going to do what you did at E3 again right before this game come out. You're going to do everything you just did. You're going to do that again. Why are you doing it at E3 when you could have showed us some of Yoshi, some of Metroid Prime, some of whatever Retro Studios is working on? That's E3. That's the atmosphere folks are expecting. And you gave us, like, you finna release this game tomorrow. Or next weeks from now. That didn't make any sense. But to then go on all these interviews and act as if you are detached from the notion of you disappointed your fan base. And I feel like I don't think it was as bad as a lot of folks were trying to make it be, but it was definitely not what we were wanting and expecting at E3. We can go across the board and say that. And any Nintendo fan try to act like it wasn't, just lying to themselves. That's just what it is. You lying, you not being honest. It wasn't bad, but it definitely left a lot to be desired. And then he said this, and I don't know if anyone caught this. Reggie was on some buffoonery over the last few days. They asked him about microtransactions and loot boxes. Did y'all hear the way Reggie answered that question?
What did he say?
Reggie literally said, "There is a place for it, and we won't. What he said, we won't cast it out as something that we should not use or should not look into." That let me know. Wait a minute, bro. This ain't the same. This ain't the same Nintendo, man. I don't know if Iwata's essence is starting to fade off and they starting to do that. But Reggie wouldn't have said that back in the day, man, about actually entertaining, which they already are doing it, but to be so upfront about, yeah, we see a place for loot boxes, and we don't want to just write it off because one company didn't do it the right way. That's what he said.
I think that's what Nintendo need.
Huh?
They put the Nintendo away and they put no spin on everything that they do. It's not that they want to be so different. It's just they want to do it the Nintendo way. Like, here's a regular controller, and Nintendo says this way. We know you don't want to play it that way. We know you won't play it for 3 years, but we know we're gonna get you out the gate, and you're gonna enjoy it. It's the way I see Nintendo doing things. Like a Splatoon. Splatoon is just a show with different awesome. Don't get me wrong, but it's like let's do it the Nintendo way, and that's how they do everything.
Yeah, you're right. And to me, I'm gonna bring this up, and I don't know if he's still in the comment section, but I watched Red Knight's latest video talking about aces, and he pulled up an interesting point that it don't seem like nobody paying attention to. You know, all these reviews came out, right, for the game, but the online part wasn't available. So you don't know what the online services are. You don't know how it works. You don't know none of that. Then you look at the situation with voice chat with Fortnite. Out of nowhere, all you can do voice chat without the phone. This whole time, you could do that. But you waited a year and 5 months into the system to let it be known, oh, we could have been done voice chat. But like you said, Keith, we just didn't want to do it because that's not the way we trying to do it. It's like,
right.
It's like, come on, man. Like, I don't get it, bro. You are winning. You are doing great. You ain't not no council war stuff, but I'm saying when I say winning, you are doing it. You are getting it done. You are making it happen for yourself right now. You pulled yourself out of the ditch, out of the rut of the Wii U. You pulled yourself out. You got the schism of the Wii era off of you. You have success, and you do make boneheaded decisions that cripple your success. E3, the second year E3, you should have knocked it out the park. You come up and you do a Smash Brothers deep informational with like we finna get this game 2 weeks from now. Come on, man. It's like, what are y'all thinking, man? What's going across y'all brains? I don't know, man. I don't know. Go ahead. Somebody take over. I ran it off a little bit.
They're getting, you know, one of the things that Reggie said, I think he said this at E3, he was saying that Nintendo was playing things close to the vest. And I'm thinking to myself that it's not sweet enough for y'all to be doing that. I mean, the Switch has had a great year and everything, but you are not that far removed from failure to be thinking that you could just hold stuff back, you know, and release it later. You need to keep the pressure on. You need to keep your foot on the gas until, you know, the wheels fall off of that train, pretty much. There should be no lapse in the intensity or the aggressiveness in Nintendo this whole generation, because you got a long, you know, period of time to make up for of failure that you owe your fan base that stuck with you through that whole time frame. All the trolling that people did for Nintendo fans throughout the entire lifespan of the Wii U. You can't erase that in just 1 year. I'm sorry. You owe them more than that. So you owe them Metroid. You owe them Retro Studios game. You owe them Yoshi. You owe them a screenshot at least of the mainline Pokemon game that's coming out next year. You owe them a brand new IP from somewhere out of the blue. You owed your Nintendo fans this. They argue, they fight, they fuss, they did everything for you. They took L's, they took beatings, got hit with sticks. They got everything, for the past 5 years. And you think because 1 year is successful, now you can say, oh, no, well, we can just wait and tell you about stuff later. No! You got to keep your foot on the gas, man.
Yeah, I'm Keith. Can't whoever want to go.
Yeah, a round of applause for that one. Oh, my goodness.
Oh yeah, that was some fire.
That was fire.
I mean, it's amazing to me. Like, to me, I'm looking at it like this, man. All the years of the Wii U, you didn't pull out your major guns because you knew you was marching them out to die if you put them on the Wii past 2 years into the Wii. You knew you couldn't march your big guns out there because it was going to die. You knew that. So you literally had, I know we got a slew of titles. Don't get me wrong. We got Breath of the Wild. We got Odyssey last year. We got Xenoblade X Chronicles 2. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yes.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Arms, which we won't count Arms. We won't do that. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So that was basically a Mario Kart 8 rehashed and brought up for the Switch. Honestly, can I be honest for a second? Nintendo really should have a lot more. Because they had all the era of the Wii U. They helped back on the Wii U. These games should be out here.
The problem with that is that because of the quality of Nintendo's games, it takes a very long time, and it's an all hands on deck approach, especially when you have something like Breath of the Wild sitting up there. That took a lot of resources and time and money from Nintendo to get that game done. So they probably could have made a lot more games if they didn't have to put all their attention to that. But, I don't think people complain much when they play Breath of the Wild. People love it. But that's the price that you pay for making a game like that because you physically can't do any more than what you did.
I don't think it's that cut and dry. I believe Nintendo has enough in-house studios. They have enough manpower because Retro is rumored that Retro had enough to work on 2 games simultaneously. So that was the big rumor with Retro. They was picking up more and more developers from other prominent places, bringing them in-house.
Yeah, but I think they were picking up those people to replace people that left.
Possibly. But what I'm saying is, if you look at the time frame, Zelda had been worked on for a while. Zelda was supposed to come out on the Wii U. It got held back to launch with the Switch. So we actually could have got Zelda a year or so before we actually even got it. So it was rumored that, well, it wasn't even rumored. Miyamoto said Pikmin 4 is basically done. You push back the Yoshi game, which one podcast I was listening to was speculating that there was another title that was coming that must have got pushed back, which caused Yoshi to have to fill that spot. So they pushed Yoshi back out of this year to cover for whatever is not going to show up next year. So, and they said that Nintendo must have had a game that was scheduled for next year that we hadn't heard about that they pushed back. So to balance it out, they moved Yoshi out of 2018 to 2019 to cover for the game that they're moving
so
out.
They put Yoshi in the slot where the other game was supposed to come out. Okay.
Right, because let's look at it. We got aces. We got a lot of third-party stuff. Don't get me wrong, that's good, but a lot of these third-party titles are games we could have been played if we wanted to play them. Let's just be real. I'm glad we got them. But you have aces. Keith just told me the Octopath part of Splatoon is out. I didn't even know that. These are all good, but you're going to have a space in there where you literally have no major first-party offering. From aces to what? Pokemon?
And that's November, ain't it?
Yeah.
Well, the only good thing about that is that nobody else does either.
Well, but the thing though,
you really think about it.
This is the thing, D2K. The other two have the luxury of third party driving them, maintaining them. Nintendo don't have first party drives Nintendo. Third party doesn't drive Nintendo, and none of these titles is going to make anybody go out and buy a Switch. Only thing that drives sales for Nintendo is first party titles.
I know.
So while the other ones might not have any first party games coming out for their systems, the fan base will go and buy a system for the third party offerings. Nintendo don't have that luxury, and like you said, as great as last year was, and I wasn't even thinking this way. I'm be honest, I wasn't really thinking this way until maybe a few minutes ago. Nintendo really doesn't have the luxury to play around with this second year. You're supposed to be submitting what you did last year. You're supposed to drive it into the ground this year and then maybe take your foot off the gas. But I don't know. I feel like they have kind of taken their foot off the gas a little bit.
Where Nintendo is messing up, I think, is they're wanting third-party games on their console. Good. But they're not working with third-party game companies. And what I mean by that, a prime example is Starlink. You have them making probably one of the best-looking Star Fox games ever that's not even a Star Fox game. And there's so many other developers that said, hey, we want to make games that's Nintendo IP, but Nintendo's so stubborn that they don't want to do it. All you got to do is send a supervisor over there to make sure that it's a Nintendo game. That way, you can have that development going, and you don't have to stress like D2K was saying with Zelda. You're stressing your resources right now. You could have outsourced some of this stuff and got some more work done. Like Level was saying earlier, those years of the Wii where we weren't getting anything, they should have been knocking us out with the Switch as soon as it dropped. We were still waiting on stuff. We're still waiting on stuff. Orange was cool, Splatoon was cool, but a lot of the other stuff and a lot of the criticisms that came out when the Switch came out was that we were getting ports. And we're still getting ports. Where are you?
Right. I mean, let's look at it. Let's look at the big major titles. Let's just look at the big major titles and look at how much of it is actually new. Breath of the Wild was new.
Well, that was, like you said, that was supposed to be a Wii U game, and it was supposed to have come out a year before that. So,
what I'm saying
technically, that's not a new Switch.
But we had never played it. That's the only reason I'm saying. The only reason I'm giving it that pass is because none of us had played the game. So if I bought it on the Switch, that was my first time ever playing it. So, and then Odyssey, first time ever playing it. If you bought Chronicles 2, that was your first time ever playing it. Arms, first time ever playing it. Everything else that's of relevance, we have played.
Well, come on, Snipper Clips is not relevant?
Man, stop it. I like Snipper Clips, but no, stop it, man. Let's be real. But everything we have played, like I literally look at my, and I got a lot of games up there. But it's sad, and I have to be honest. It look exactly like the games I had on the shelf with the Wii U. Matter of fact, it don't look like they are the exact games. Just with a deluxe behind the 8. Just with an ultra behind this. We finna get Captain Toad. That was already there. It's like Nintendo. Y'all had a whole generation that you failed and helped back. That's why Captain Toad showed up. That's why Mario 3D World showed up and not Odyssey, because you was trying to get quick stuff out there and you didn't want to throw your real full-fledged efforts to a dying system. Where are them titles? So what was you doing when you was holding back on the Wii U? Was the only thing you had was Odyssey and Orms? You can't tell me that's all you had was Odyssey and Orms. Odyssey is great. Orms is Orms. Come on, bro. No, man.
I think
it's crazy.
I think I kind of understand the logic, even though I do agree with you. It's like, let's get all these Wii U games that didn't sell on the Wii U out on the Switch. That's probably not going to sell on the Switch, but let's get them out anyways, and then let's hit them with all our heavy stuff. I say hit us with the heavy stuff, and then sprinkle these Wii U games in there. Like, oh man, that game came out on the Wii U. Let me go pick it up. But you got too many Wii U games coming out back to back. I could be over exaggerating there, but I'm just saying.
Not really. Yeah, no.
Check this out, bro. Look at E3, and I hate to make this. Blame it on Red, because he's speaking so much truth. He is like, man, is really on the truth right now. E3, you got, okay, let's look at Smash Bros. Is not coming out to December. So we all know we getting another Smash. We getting another Smash Direct. Everybody know that. We gonna see, what's his name? Sakurai. We gonna see Sakurai again. In weeks before that December launch, we gonna have another one. You say nothing about your online service. Forget announcing some new games. You got an online service coming towards the end of the summer. All the major eyes are on you right now at E3. You say nothing about your online services. Nothing. You have a direct for let's just let you have a direct for Pokemon, because we thinking, well, you must be clearing everything out for E3 so you can hit these major Metroid, all these games that's coming. You have a direct for Pokemon weeks before E3,
which makes no sense.
Which makes no sense. And it's like, Nintendo, y'all cannot, even with Sony. Let me say this. Sony's press conference was garbage, but the games were there.
Right.
And that's all we really care about. Nintendo Direct, the way it was paced was dope. It wasn't nothing there. It was nothing there. And I gave it a C+. I gave it a CC+, because it is Smash, bro. You can't pass up on Smash, bro. And you did get Fortnite. That's pretty cool. And a lot of the leaks ruined a lot of the specialness that would have been there had we not knew about this stuff. But we already had knew about Dragon Balls and all these things because it had been leaked, and the leak was very, credible. So, but you couldn't think that this was going to be enough for E3. And I don't get that. I don't understand that. And you wasted a lot of time on something that you're going to waste time on again in the future. Why not show us, like Microsoft, what you got, a little sizzle will of what you got coming a little ways out into 19 and blow it out in 19. That would have been, we should have saw something with Metroid. We should have saw something. If you're going to show me a font, you should have shown me something this year. So, being candid and being honest, I don't know. I don't understand Nintendo from one moment to the next. It seems like when you think they got it, they knock it out the park, and then the next, they ain't even in. They JR sometimes. J.R. Smith.
Oh boy,
this dude just called Nintendo J.R. Smith.
Listen while I'm using it. One moment J.R. Smith can be hot, he can't miss, and then the next moment he don't even know the score. That's Nintendo at times. One moment they hot and can't miss, and the next moment it's like, Nintendo, do you even know what the game is right now? How do you let Fortnite announce that you have voice chat. How do you let Fortnite make that announcement and not yourself when you knew everybody been fussing about that?
Because they don't think it's important.
I just don't want to believe that, man. I just think sometimes they just so detached.
Their actions show you that what they feel to be important and what they don't. They don't have to say anything. Their actions show you where their priorities are. The fact that it is 2018 and Nintendo still is struggling to get an online service together, something that has been mandatory and default in gaming since 2001. Make it even worse than that, the Nintendo 64 Double D, the disk drive, that had online built into that. So you had online before anybody else did, and you all of a sudden don't think it's that important. You can just wait. And then the online service that you're actually going to give isn't even all that great. That just shows you where their priorities are. Their priorities are getting people together in a room and playing games. That's all they care about.
But again, okay, I agree. But you got to have the games. Bro, what are you giving me to pull me? Bruh. Y'all are stripping me of my Wakanda Black Panther powers, man. I feel weak right now. I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to dump on Nintendo. But some things just don't make sense.
You're doing a great job, by the way.
Well, I'm saying it, but we dumped on Sony, we dump on everybody. I'm a dump. What I'm saying is you are doing such a great job. How do you be your own trip? How you tripping over your own shoestrings? No one is tripping you. You are tripping you. It's like, bro, y'all knocked it out the park last year. Y'all made brilliant move after brilliant move after brilliant move after brilliant move. You selling like crazy. You are relevant. You kind of made your name relevant again. And the simple things that should be the simple stuff, that's what you can't get together. An E3 presentation that's worthy of an E3 after the success that you had the year before.
I think we all just wanted more surprises, man. Like, if you go back, and I said this last week, you go back to that sizzle reel that Nintendo had within the Direct. They should have expanded on that. There were so many games they should have expanded on. I'm not even talking about like the Dragon Ball Fighters. There was like a bunch of other games that needed some shine. Smash is gonna get his. You know what I mean? It's kind of like LeBron. Can I use an analogy? It's like LeBron. LeBron gonna get his, but what about them other dudes? Like you had them in there and you didn't really showcase.
Well, how can you though, Keith? How can you showcase Dragon Ball Z Fighters, Fortnite, which you could have showcased Fortnite? You might have could have got away with Paladins, but how really can you showcase these games, Wolfenstein, when these games were showcased in abundance on other systems a long time ago?
First of all, they should be showing why it's unique to the Switch. First of all, they should be showing, hey, you can do this on Dragon Ball FighterZ with the Switch. You can do this on Fortnite with the Switch. You can do this with whatever, There should be unique reasons why I want to go out and buy the Switch version of these games that have already been out for a year and a half.
So being portable that's not enough? That's not.
It never was.
I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking for a friend.
For certain games, K-Bun, for certain games, the ability to take it on the go is important. But for the games that we're talking about, I won't say as much. I won't say anybody is burning to take Dragon Ball Fighters on the go. I won't say anybody's burning to take Wolfenstein on the go. Maybe Fortnite. And that's why I said Fortnite and Paladins should have got more coverage. Way more. If you're going to spend all that time on Smash, you could have cut half of Smash and gave that to Fortnite. and showed the game and showed the voice chat. Look, and guess what, guys? We heard you. So we made this choice. If you want to talk, you can talk now. That would have shut the show down if they would have said that. And guess what? Voice chat is here. What? Oh, that's what would happen. But no, you wanted to spend all the time telling us about all the characters and what they can do in detail on Smash. Like, bro, like TJK said twice.
But so like I said, if they had ended it, I don't know what the last game was, but they showed before Smash. But if they had ended it there and said that thank you for coming, we're going to be having a big, huge blowout, chronicling Smash before this tournament starts at the Treehouse, blah blah blah. People would have been like, okay, I wanted to hear about Metroid, I wanted to hear about Retro's game, I want to hear about Yoshi, but it was a solid direct. Okay, that's fine. I'll tune in later to watch the Smash thing. But when you keep people hanging and making people think that that's going to happen at some point, knowing full well it's not, and you're overexposing Smash, knowing full well that you're going to be doing another direct sometime this year, doing the exact same thing again, that just rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Even Nintendo fans.
And Reggie can't defend that mess, and to be trying to defend it don't make any sense. So,
dude, every year after E3, Reggie's somewhere defending, so he's out there damage controlling. That's my opinion.
No, he can't damage. I mean, to me, it wasn't no big deal. It wasn't as big of a deal to me until Reggie started lying. That's what he was like. Dude, stop lying, man. Y'all know y'all could have did better at E3, and what y'all think is we so loyal as a fan base that it don't matter what y'all do. That's what bothers me about Nintendo. They think that we are so loyal as a fan base, and maybe we are. Maybe we are. I don't know. Maybe, but they think that, and they think, well, we could do this, and they still gonna stick around. They ain't gonna be mad. They ain't gonna be upset. It's like, dude, no, man, stop it. After a while, man, that's annoying that y'all just totally aloof like that at times. It's like, man, if I'm gonna say, like I said, it wasn't bad. It was just the fact that you clearly could have had more, and you all but said it. Yeah, we could have showed more. Then why didn't you? That's we could have. We got all that to show, but we just didn't feel like it was right for right. Then if it ain't for right now, if E3 ain't for that, what is E3 for, Reggie? I know it ain't for informative, deep breakout of Smash 5 months before it released.
Man, boy, this podcast is, you have to take your earbuds out every 5 minutes because this is some fire been thrown in this podcast. We need to put a warning, with that Surgeon General warning on the title of this podcast because somebody gonna catch that heat, man. Because we giving out heat.
I'm just saying, man.
If Nintendo, like, how like Sony has a PlayStation experience at the end of the year, if Nintendo were doing something like that every year where they had like a big blowout conference, then you can get away with that. You can say, okay, we don't want to talk about this stuff at E3 because we don't think E3 is as important as it used to be. We're going to do this at our own conference. Okay. Just give your fans something to go on. Give them a tangible reason as to why you're not doing these things. Don't condescend down to them and act like they can't figure these things out for themselves. Because that's one of the things that Nintendo loves to do. And Reggie is the snake oil salesman that he is. He just loves to talk to you like you are brick stupid. I mean, he is. When Reggie gets done with you, you feel like your IQ is like 4. I'm serious. That's how he comes across, and it's like I don't like looking at his face. I can't. He just irritates me because he's just so arrogant, and he believes everything that he's saying, even though it's complete BS sometimes.
My thing is, man, I was cool until he started talking, and I'm listening to him like, Reggie. They kept asking, why didn't you show this? Well, we figured, you got our fans, how our fans are, they'd just be more interested in what we currently have coming right now. No, we're not, Reggie. That's just what y'all do. We want to hear what's coming down the pipe. We want to be excited about what's coming down in the next year and a half. We know because you have already showed us everything that's coming now. We already know all this stuff. Ain't nothing you showed at E3 we didn't know about. You can't keep showing the same thing over and then show me more of it. Wasn't you excited about? No, I don't need to see that much of Smash to know it's going to be good. I didn't need that much.
The surprises that they showed was either it wasn't enough for you to really get your teeth into it, like that mech game that they showed at the beginning, which looks very interesting, but it wasn't enough to really. You don't know what's going on. You just know that it looks cool and that's it. And then Mario Party coming back and returning back to its roots. Now, if you're a Mario Party fan, you're excited about that. But the little thing that was dope. And then they start, sliding the switches around and sticking them together and all that type of stuff. I guess if you're into that type of thing, okay, that's neat, whatever. But it wasn't anything that's like, wow, I can't believe they did that. It was just like, oh, that's cool. That would have been a nice supplementary piece to a bigger title being announced alongside that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I mean, look at this, bro. This is what I don't get. They made a big announcement to let us know we're gonna be talking about Smash at E3. Like, man, they're gonna be so happy. We letting them know, man. Smash is gonna be. E3 is gonna be Smash filled. Literally, I guess it was, wasn't it? Because you had nothing else to show. But you, how can we be excited when you've already announced Smash is going to be shown off at E3? You didn't even surprise us with it. There was no speculation that we was going to see Smash. We knew we was going to see Smash. E3 is about surprise and shock. I don't know. Anyway, I ain't gonna stay on that no more. I'm done. I'm off my rant. Y'all in the comment section. I didn't know I was gonna get that worked up over Reggie in the line and the dismissiveness.
I love it. I'm glad that you took that stance on it because
that was dope.
It was. This is something that needed to be said, and a lot of Nintendo fans, like you said, they were damage controlling harder than Reggie was right after the Direct was over. And it really irritates me when people make excuses for dumb things. It's okay to say somebody messed up. Okay? It doesn't mean that you hate the company. It doesn't mean that you turn your back on it. It doesn't mean that you're abandoning Nintendo because you point out something stupid that they did. You just point out something stupid that they did so they won't do it again later.
It was stupid.
But they will.
My thing is, man, I ain't invested in these companies, man. They don't make my world go around. I am a consumer and a casual fan. I'm not extreme with my fandom. So me saying, hey, Nintendo, y'all flubbed up. Y'all messed up. Y'all didn't do bad. But to hear you say we could have showed more and we have it to show, that's what kind of got like, okay.
And the fact that Sony's conference was so whack that you left the door wide open for y'all to really, do some serious damage.
That's my point. Nintendo's in a prime position to solidify they run even the more to drive the stake into the ground even harder. And you passed up on the opportunity for what? Why? You showed us a Metroid Prime font last year. You saw the reaction from a font. One cinematic. Look at this. Jesus. Lord, get me off of this. Bro, they had a CGI trailer to show off Ridley. You telling me you put more interest in Metroid Prime and Smash Bros. Than Metroid Prime the standalone game?
I didn't even think about that. That's makes a whole wow. I didn't even think about that. That makes a whole lot of sense.
If you could have said Metroid Prime 4 and showed a cutscene, and that would have ended That would have ended everything. You would have saw screens broke. You would have saw the internet break. You would have saw Nintendo won. It's over, which I don't get caught up in all that stuff, but you would have saw that all over the place. But you spent more time showing a CGI trailer for Metroid Prime and Ridley in Smash than you did the actual game.
These trailers, I don't remember. Do they actually show up in the game?
I ain't never seen them trailers in the game.
So it's wasted.
That's my point. That's my whole point, Keith. You spent all that money to show a pointless trailer for a game that you are clearly already showing in actuality. But a game, matter of fact, I go here. Dr. Trey had more interesting stuff in a 5-minute video of the artistic of a person who worked on the art design for Metroid Prime, or this new Metroid Prime game. They had a picture of Samus in their LinkedIn post. That was more interesting than anything that Nintendo showed at E3. Like, dude, if you took the time to show a Metroid Prime 4 font, you couldn't make a CGI trailer with Metroid running down a corridor and then all of a sudden really break up and then say Metroid Prime is in full development, so on. Maybe talk about a few of the direction where you're trying to go with it and move off like you did Bayonetta that year when you showed Bayonetta 2, when you saw her and you saw the dragon and they showed the drawing of the dragon or the design of the dragon, then they showed the scene where he wrapped around that skyscraper. Something as simple as that would have been enough for Metroid.
Or even before that, when they initially revealed that Bayonetta 2 was in development for the Wii U, they just showed like some concept art, and then they show like an animation of her walking away from the screen or something like that. That's good enough.
That's good enough, D2. If a font can generate you won E3 from last year, that would have been enough, bro. But no, you spent millions of dollars on a CGI trailer, a throwaway CGI trailer to show Mario and Mega Man get snatched away by Ridley for Smash Bros. That's what you thought that money.
And I think that it has become kind of a tradition with Smash Bros. Because they did the same thing when they revealed Mega Man for the last Smash Bros. Yeah, this big elaborate CGI trailer to reveal him. But like you said, I didn't even think about that. You spent all that time making a CGI trailer just to say that Ridley's going to be involved in Smash Bros. And you could do the same thing for Metroid Prime 4, just give you a taste of the direction that they're going with the game. Just something that gives you a little bit of insight on what's happening in the story. Not blowing the whole thing, but just give you something to think about. Like, I wonder where they're going with this, just to keep you interested.
Right. And dude, anyway, let me stop. I can't go no more. I'm done. The power of the Black Panther will now be returned. Anyway, let me stop. Anything else? K-Bum enjoying me thrashing Nintendo. Look at him. Just all smiles. Anyway, anything else, man? Keith, you got anything to say?
I'm trying to go back and see what we said we was going to talk about. See if we hit everything.
I thought we did. We talked about my phone did, so I can't go back. We talked about Reggie. We talked about the cross-play with and we kind of talked about Microsoft and the direction, they going with, seem like they going a better direction for next year. We kind of hit all of them.
Yeah, we did.
So I thought we did anyway. Anything else, man? Oh, we can close shop. Which one you want to do?
I think we need to sit. We just need to seal that rant and just let that just be the cap.
And I love my Switch, people. I love my Switch. So don't take my rant wrong. But hey, it had to be said, man.
I appreciate it. I love it.
I love every second of it.
How do you let
the
announcement for voice chat come after E3? And guess what? If it wasn't for Spunwave, what's his name? What is his name?
That's it.
If it wasn't for Spunwave, he called it in the treehouse. They literally had the developers sit down in the treehouse, and he happened to say, and guess what, guys? Voice chat is in the game. And he ran it back like, did they say what they really did? Did they just say that? How did that not show up in God? Like, what are y'all thinking, man? What's all these polls and asking us what we want and you give us this phone app and ask us to critique it, and everybody on there said, give us direct voice chat. Give us direct voice chat. So the question we should ask, is Nintendo really listening to us?
No, but they have to do things like that to satisfy their investors, and to say that their investors might be concerned, like, hey, you know, I hear a lot of people complain that you don't have voice chat, and they can bring these stats and, well, we do these little focus groups and surveys and things, and we're keeping under advisement. No, they're not. They don't care. They don't care. They don't.
That's the biggest hurdle with the Nintendo is voice chat and online services. And you have it, and you open it up and you allow it to be available to gamers, and you don't even take the time to announce, hey, guys, you know that thing you've been wanting for the last 7 years? We actually done it this time, and you can actually go and take advantage of it right now with Fortnite. I'm getting off here.
I think that one of the reasons why they didn't really say anything about it, because it really, I think they try to be slick, because you were saying from the beginning that, you know, the Switch had the architecture built into it to do voice chat all along, and all that whole contraption with the adapter and using your cell phone was not even necessary. Now, a year or so after the Switch, and now you just do it. You just do voice chat. I think they didn't want to make a big deal about it because they didn't want people to say, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? They just want to be just a little sliding in there all slick under the table. Oh yeah, you can do voice chat. Yeah. Well, anyway, back to Smash.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But on that note, anybody else, any last words before we get out of here?
I'm good.
Y'all done made me rant on Nintendo now. I wasn't expecting to do that. Anyway. K-Bomb, you can unmute, man. I'm done, bro.
I just been enjoying the scenery. So
all right, well, I'm gonna let you guys sign out. Starting with K-Bomb. Go ahead and sign out, man.
Yeah, enjoyed the podcast. We kind of went in on some people today. We gave Sony their just dues for their week, borderline, if not anti-consumerism things, and then level just dropped bombs over Baghdad with Nintendo and some of the things they did. But all in all, like I said, man, our biggest thing we want to enjoy games. We want to make the industry better. We want to hold these companies to a higher standard so that they can continue to make or even make new, stuff that we enjoy. Since we spend so much of our free time playing games with others and enjoying it. So it's all out of, not for hate, but out of the mindset of let's hold people accountable and let's get better and do better. So I enjoyed it. Thanks.
Keith.
Yo, great podcast. Shout out to Francis over at Player S. He sent a bunch of people our way. Hopefully something was said. Hopefully something was ranted in their ear that made them want to come back next Thursday. Again, great podcast. K-Bun wasn't here last week when I said that Sony's all of their games look the same. And that's it.
D2, do you got anything?
It's just one last piece of shade. That's cool.
Anything to say, D2?
If you mean look the same, mean they look good, then yeah, man, I agree with you, bro.
No, they do look. That's a conversation we gotta have too. K-Bomb, he ain't lying, bro. They do look as great as them games look. Once you pull back the skins, them games look the same, bro.
Same. You can tell by the crowd reaction, let you know. It was like, okay, what else you got?
But The Last of Us look good outside of the, little kissy kiss scene at the beginning. I keep all that. You know what I'm saying? They keep that. But the game looks
Over the
great.
shoulder too, right near. Over the shoulder too.
K-Bo, you ain't gotta stay muted, bro. Speak up, man.
Man, we trying to get out of here, man. Finish your sign outs.
All right. D2, you good? All right.
I'm good, yeah.
All right, man. Well, we thankful for y'all tuning in with us and sticking around with us. OJ, Player S's, appreciate the shout out, sending folks our way. Don't scare me like that, bro. I ain't know what happened, man. That thing shot up from 12, 13 to almost 50 in seconds. I was like, Jesus, we really hot tonight. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, don't be doing me like that, bro. I get spoiled. But yeah, send them back our way next time if you can. Anyway, so make sure you tune in. I don't know if we're gonna do Sunday or not. If Jedi hit me up, say he want to do it, I hit you guys up to see if y'all want to do one, if I'm available to do one. But if not, I'll see y'all Thursday. Go out and get a Switch and a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox. Get them all, man, like Pokemon. Gotta catch them all. Until next time, folks, deuces.